Welcome to the newest edition of Garage Talk. Dale Tanhardt back here, the undisputed greatest NASCAR bettor in the history of the universe. This is exciting. I have been waiting a while to do this. I got my first ever NASCAR driver guest, driver of the number 51 Chevrolet Camaro in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, Jeremy Clements, otherwise known as JC51. Really good flowing nickname there. And it just great to have you on. I really appreciate you coming on here. We're getting the jitters out right now because you are the first driver I've had on my show. So once again, thank you so much for joining.
Hey man, it's a pleasure. It's an honor to be your first guest too, as a driver. That's really freaking cool, and I'm proud to do it for you.
See, that's what I love to hear right there to start off the episode. We're gonna let this flow pretty good. Not gonna keep him too long. He's got a lot of notifications blowing him up right now about the breaking news that we'll go over here in just a moment. But so, Jeremy, as you understand, NASCAR is going through a transformation phase right now. We have a lot of new fans entering the sport. I feel like most of those new fans are focused on the Cup Series. They're focused on a lot of the big names. And if they're involved in Xfinity at all, they're focused on those bigger names, guys like Noah Gragson, Austin Cindric. And Jeremy drives for a lower funded team and has been the biggest grinder of a driver and a team in the Xfinity Series for the past 10 to 15 years, I would say. And like I said about the new fans, I want people to learn about you as we transform and get new fans into the sport. So tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, how you got into NASCAR at the Xfinity Series level.
Well, I've raced my whole life, man. So I started racing when I was 7 years old. I was tearing up my parents' yard in my yard cart, and when I was 5 and 6, and then turned 7, and my grandfather Crawford Clements, he got me a racing go-kart. So I started taking Jason, my brother, and I to the local dirt track, Buck Creek Speedway in Chesney, South Carolina, and started racing, man, and I loved it. And my grandfather, he's the one that got me started. He was a crew chief back in the 50s and 60s. Him and his brother Lewis, they won a lot of races, and my uncle Lewis actually won the championship in NASCAR 1960 with Rex White. My grandfather worked with Buck Baker, AJ Foyt, so many good drivers, just to name a couple, but they are pioneers of the sport for sure. And just owe it all to him to get me started. And he passed away in 1996. And so I had to go get me a ride, man. I got my mom. She would take me to Buck Creek and drop me off. And I found rides here and there, and then found a steady ride for sure for a couple of years. And then I think I turned about 13, and I begged my dad for a race car. So we finally went and bought an old dirt 4-cylinder car from a guy, like for $2,000, and you thought it broke my dad. I remember it was like, it was like so expensive to him, but it was just funny thinking about that now. But started racing race cars, 4-cylinder. We won a lot of races. We won a lot. And there was, that was 99, 2000, 2001, the last year I drove those. We won 2 back-to-back races. One paid $16,000 and one paid $12,000. So we won a good bit of money off those things. And then the very last race, pretty funny little story. We said, we're selling all this stuff because I'm going to go super late model racing 2002. So the people, they sold like that because, we won so much. So the people, we literally raced the last race. And then the people that were buying it followed us back to the shop. We had 2 cars, I think. 2, maybe even 3. I don't remember exactly. Just say 2 cars. They got the 2 cars, all the parts, pieces, gears, everything. And that night they were all gone and used all that money to buy a dirt super late model. So that was pretty cool. It's always been my career, it seems. You just battle from the bottom and get to that point, that next point, and then put that money to the next step. So ran super late models for a number of years, and then started ARCA racing, and actually got hurt in 2004. Drive shaft come through the car. That's a skin graft from my side of the hip. Side of my hip. So there's a lot of years in Jeremy Clements racing that, that span there. And then I'll flash forward to 2011. We started full time. We were racing some races here and there in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. We're racing ARCA, I was racing dirt, and finally said, you know what, I'm gonna put everything up. We're gonna go full time Xfinity racing. That's what I want to do. So we did that, and we've been full time since 2011, man. And it's crazy to think that 10 years later we've raced every race since the 2011 season. And obviously where I'm at right now, I thought, this age I've been Cup with a good ride and winning races, but man, it hadn't worked out that way, and it's frustrating because it's all comes down to money and sponsorships and all that kind of stuff. So haven't been able to work all that to into a Cup deal, unfortunately, but I'm not giving up, man. I'm still here grinding away, and I definitely feel like I can get the job done, and I'm really proud of where our team is at the moment. So sorry I went on and on forever, but that was I had to tell you how it all began.
Hey man, way too long. You went way over your time right there.
Yeah.
Nah, I love that kind of information. And I think that's very good insight for some fans who may not know a lot about you. You have a deep rooted history throughout auto racing, whether it's NASCAR, dirt, late models, and that's awesome. That's really good to hear. And I'm rooting for you. I understand the business model is tough. And hopefully with the Cup Series switching over to the next gen in 2022, we might see some more opportunities for teams like yourself and more other guys out there that are very deserving of that opportunity. Now, moving on to the next thing, we're going to go a little light right here. Outside of racing, we just had your big spill about racing. Outside of racing, what are some of your favorite hobbies?
Oh, man. I like to be active. I'm actually going to sneak away, maybe go to the beach this weekend since we're off again, and be on the beach and have some adult beverages and hang out with friends and see what we can get into. I love amusement parks. I love going anything adventurous. Like I'll go hiking, I'll go kayaking, what's it called, I'll do anything that's fun, man. I'll jump off a building, it doesn't matter.
Well, you're a race car driver, so I would assume that you got that crazy factor in you to do like skydiving and all sorts of shit like that. So that doesn't surprise me one bit. I, on the other hand, am scared of
a couple
flying.
Times actually. So
on the other hand, I'm terrified of even flying in an airplane. So that tells you about me. I would like to drive a race car though. I'm a control freak, so that's my deal. I need to be in control. You know what I mean? But,
yeah, I love anything I can do to get that adrenaline flowing. And then when I'm at home, I'll play some Xbox with my boys, PlayStation, whatever, iRacing, stuff like that. When I'm at home, especially when COVID hit, you're at home, you're like, what the hell am I going to do? So, I got into that some more, and I do enjoy that. And it's gotten bigger, it seems. So that's been a lot of fun. And yeah, hanging out with my wife, my friends. We just I'm the kind of guy I like to do fun. So you call me up, hey man, what are you gonna do this weekend? Like, let's hang out and go do something. Let's go to I love Top Golf. Holy crap. About forgot to say that.
there you go.
I love I always take people out there and have fun and eat their good food and drink drinks and so stuff like that, man. I don't have just one particular hobby. I do like to go fishing. Like this weekend we'll probably get a charter and get us taken out to go fishing. We've done that before a bunch, really. So stuff like that. I'm always down for anything.
No surprises there, really. I kind of assumed some of those things about you. I've seen some of your social media, I'd met you previously before, so you seemed like a big fun guy, and that's what we like at the Garage Guys, are fun guys. Now, you talked about adult beverages. My next question is, what is your favorite beer, your beer of choice? And if you, I'm really curious about this because I'm a big anti Miller Lite guy. Just is that it? Is that the beer choice?
Oh man. I mean, yeah, I can put down some Millers, man. I like Michelob's they're okay. Bud Light is kind of my least favorite, maybe, but I still drink it. Those light beers are my go-tos, especially after I've had a couple other drinks. Then I want to just stay where I am. I'll drink some light beer and stay there. But yeah, I hate to tell you, I do like Miller. I'm sorry about that.
I don't know why. I like you, but you lost some points right there. I don't know why. I just, for some reason, I sensed that you were going to say that. I really did. And that sucks.
Yeah.
But hey, beer is beer, to some people. But I'm
always
anti-Miller guy.
I always like to try different ones too. Like I like Modelo with a lime, Corona, things like that. Those are good too, especially sitting on the beach. I like those. I gotta have a lime though with it. So I always try anything really, but I like the light ones because they don't fill me up.
Yeah, I like the taste of a Budweiser a lot. Like a Budweiser on draft to me is delicious, but it's like eating a loaf of bread, and that's not really fun to do if you're trying to pummel some more beers,
That's right. I want to introduce you guys to Molly. She's down. She just came from outside. So say hey, Molly.
We got another special guest, Jeremy Clements, big dog guy on the show.
Yeah. I love my dog Molly. She's a spoiled little girl, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're good. As long as she doesn't drink Miller Lite too, I think
no,
we're good.
Definitely not. Okay. I saw something about the brew, like Bush Beers doing something for brew. Have you seen that on Kevin Hart? I don't.
That was my next gateway actually. That paint scheme at Talladega. Mike Joy kind of made a mess up out of it. It was pretty funny. I don't really know much about it, but I've seen it and it looks hilarious. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it, honestly. But
yeah, I don't know what it is. I just saw a picture of it and there was dogs sitting there and it said like a brew cup or brew. I don't know what it's even called, but I was like, well, maybe I can get that for Molly.
Yeah. I think that would be the first ever beer designed for dogs. I mean, I could be wrong. I'm not an expert in dog beer, but that's the first time I've ever seen that.
I like Busch Light too, actually. So
I like Busch Light. I like Busch Light too.
I forgot about it. I'll get Busch Light too. So how about that? That kind of hit me back.
That helps a little bit. That helps a little bit. There, I'll give a point back to you on there.
There you go.
So moving on, we've gone over some of your personal life regarding racing, outside of racing. Talladega sucked for me because I told you before we recorded I'm a big sports betting guy. I actually did put some cash on you to win too, by the way.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I think I picked 3 or 4 guys, and the rain. I think had the rain not come, it would have turned out differently. But what is your assessment on Talladega? And that's regarding Xfinity. And after Xfinity, I want to know if you have a comment about what Joey Logano said about the safety of the cars, if you got a chance to read that or listen to it.
Yeah, our race ended abruptly, to be honest. And at that point, I was just riding the lead pack the whole race. And I was just riding the outside line most of the race because that's where the car would seem to do the best. And I really hadn't raced yet, to be honest. Like, I was just staying where I was. And if that line went forward, then I went forward. If it went back, I went back. And that's kind of what I did. So just trying to keep my nose clean and survive. And they said, that caution came out at the end and they're like, oh, rain's coming. And then we're about to take the green and in turn stream 4, I was like, oh, it's raining pretty good now, So it started raining really hard, and then we came in. I didn't even got my feet on the ground, and that they called it, and I was like, dang, that sucks. I didn't even get to try, but it is what it is. Actually, it rained hard. We all walked back. I was changing out of my suit, all that kind of stuff, and it started raining again, and really bad. And it was, by this time it was like 6:30 or so, maybe. And so I was like, well, I guess they did make the right call, because, after that point, once that storm stopped, then it was gonna, they're gonna drive the track another hour and a half, 2 hours. So that place doesn't have lights, obviously. So I guess they made the right call. It just sucks. But the good thing is we came out of there with a car in one piece. And for us, that's a good day. 14 is not ideal for me, but we did gain a spot in points. So we're 8th place. So that's pretty dang cool. So more good than bad. So I'm okay with it now. But at the time, I was a little mad about it. So and in the cup race, I did get to see some of it there towards the end. I was actually driving back. I stayed in Talladega Saturday night. We were driving back during the race Sunday, so I didn't watch much of it. I saw the end. I did see Joey Logano's replay of his wreck, and I would need to go back and hear his comments, to be honest, because I just remember something about it's unsafe and we're going to get hurt. And this stuff's dangerous. So I don't know. It's kind of the risk we all take. We know it going in. So we all signed up for it. And the cars are the safest they've ever been. And it's incredible that Ryan Newman is alive after his crash. And that's amazing to me. I thought for sure it didn't look good to me. So it's just dangerous, and we sign up for it. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. And Joey did give tremendous credit to the safety. He did, but he also kind of contradicted it with, and also, granted, Joey's a taller guy than a lot of the other drivers. He complained about the roll cage kind of caving in on his head a little bit, and I think that was his main thing. He was the most concerned about. And my comment is, and this is from obviously an outsider perspective. I'm not a race car driver, but my comment on it would be, we have never had a perfect solution to keep cars on the ground. No matter what we have done, in every single era, every single generation of race car, we have had problems keeping cars off, or on the ground. I just don't think there's a perfect solution for it. And the cars are so safe. I mean, they're unbelievably safe compared to what they were 10 or 20 years ago, obviously. So I didn't know if you had an opinion on that, but interesting comments for sure by Joey. And, moving on real quick. So you talked about how you're 8th in points, which is probably one of the highest you've ever been in the point standings at a quarter point of the season, which is awesome. Statistically, you're having your best year with 3 top 10s in your first 8 races or so, which is great. Give me just a brief overview, an assessment of your performance and what's changed compared to 2020, 2019, here in 2021.
Yeah, well, I got a new crew chief over the off season, and Mark Setzer. He started 2 weeks after the 2020 season ended. Started working every day at the shop, being there all the time. And we never had that, because money, paying somebody like that over the off season is expensive. And that's really their main reason. So for Mark to come over there during the off season, get with my other 3 guys and start making these cars better, than they were. That's really been the extra. That's what's made us better, I feel like. And then Clements racing engines, we build on racing engines, so they get better and better. They're full-time dirt late model engine builders, so that shop is 99% dirt late model engines, and then 1%, or not even 1%, Jeremy Clements Racing Xfinity engines. So they're just peeled on the side. There's not, to really make them the best they need to be, they would need to put all the money, energy, R&D into them like they do the dirt late model stuff, but it's kind of impossible. So they get better and better, just a little bit slower than I would like. So they're still good. So I credit all that to why we've ran better. In 2019, we bought the cars that we're racing. Now we bought a bunch of Ganassi cars from when they shut their team down. And over time, when we first got them, it was just like a brand new puzzle. You got you got a puzzle, but you're missing a lot of pieces. So over time, we've just gotten more comfortable with them. We've gotten the pieces to them. We've made them better, which surprises me that we can make them better, to be honest. And Mark is really smart, and he's definitely made them drive better and handle better. So I've been really impressed with him and really high on him. So I see JCR only getting better as we go, especially as Mark learns what I want and need in a race car. So that's been why we've been able to do better. All my career, it's been, especially in NASCAR, I don't think JCR has ever had a brand new car. It's always been, we bought this car from Ganassi or RCR or whatever. It's always been that way. So when we got these cars from Ganassi, they were purpose-built cars that were going to go race within a month, and their money fell through, and we were able to get them. And they had a lot of the pieces that you could never get with the other cars because they don't want to sell them. So all that stuff being said, that's been why we could run the way we can right now, for sure. It's definitely helped.
Very interesting insight about what it takes to have a competitive race car, and the fact that you guys have always operated on older equipment, and being able to perform in the middle upper tier class is just insane. And for everybody who doesn't know what he was talking about, Jeremy Clements' team builds their own engines. Now, the fact that they are 8 in points with their own engines is unbelievable, because you have all these other teams that usually get their funding from ECR or Yates or Hendrick. And he's outperforming a lot of those teams right now so far into the season. There's still a good bit of the way to go, but what an encouraging start. And you look at other teams that use, I guess the best way to put it would be independent engine manufacturers. It would be guys or team owners like BJ McLeod, Mike Harmon, and their performance levels are nowhere near what the 51 team is doing this year. So that's good information to look at and consider when you see how Jeremy and the 51 team have performed this season so far. Now,
thank you.
Yeah. So now we're gonna go back light again. Okay, we're going tight. We're going tight. We're going loose again. We're making adjustments. We're gonna take some wedge out. We're gonna be a little bit looser.
I like it.
All right. And let's roll through this real quick. Just kind of a spitfire. I want to go back to some adult beverage conversation because I'm a big adult beverage guy. It's such a big part of NASCAR, honestly, the fun part of NASCAR. People who've been in the infields of Talladega, Michigan, Indianapolis, it is such an exciting element that I would recommend anybody over the age of 21 to experience at some point in their life. So to get into it, other than Talladega, you've made the tour, like you said, for a long time, full time. What are the best 3 party tracks other than Talladega?
Oh man, I would have to say Daytona for sure. You already said Talladega. Man, Michigan. Wow, those people party down there. I gotta put Michigan in there.
I hear about Michigan. I want to go there so bad, and I'm gonna have to experience it at some point. But I've always heard that.
I would definitely make a weekend out of that place for sure. We got Daytona, Talladega, Michigan, and one more, right?
Can't say Talladega. We're pretending Talladega does not exist. So yeah, you got one more.
The road courses are always packed, and there's been some epic parties in there. I mean, Road America, when we race there, and oh my God, when we go there this year, it's going to be full. That's a 4-mile track, And there are people when we go do the pace car ride and we're going slow and driver introductions and you're out there on the truck, they're everywhere. They're everywhere. So, man, I got to say, Road America is a good track to go to. I'm not even kidding. Like,
I think I've heard that, but I'm gonna go ahead and go out on a limb here and say you might be a little biased because of your success there that you had a few years back, maybe just a little bit.
Oh yeah, one of my partners before, I always I had their motorhomes there, so we would hang out there, and I always had a great time there. A lot of good, fun people. So yeah, I don't know. That was always a fun one to me. I can't wait to go to Coda this year to see that. Nashville this year. I think Nashville will be too. Nashville will be packed with people. Oh my gosh, especially with Cup being there. I think that would be a good one to bring your motorhome to and party. And I know there's going to be actually one of my partners there with his motorhome on the backstretch. So I'm going to be there hanging out with him after the Xfinity race.
We'll have to get together and maybe drink a few beers there.
Yeah.
Nashville is a great place, so I understand that. Now, if you can't answer this, you may not be able to answer this, but past or present, who is the best driver in the garage to party with?
Oh man, I gotta think about that one for a minute. I got a really good buddy that race trucks, and he owns the teams now. But do you have any idea who I'm going to say?
Okay, no, I actually don't. I was going to say take a hint, but go ahead and tell me.
Tyler Young.
Tyler Young, okay, Young
Have
Motorsports.
you ever met Tyler?
I haven't, but that's the 02 and the 12, right? That's Tate Fogelman, and
yeah, he owns the. But I've known that guy for a long time, and man, he can put him down and go. And bolt. He can rack, back the thing in seat deep, and then come in, unload a back up and go back out. And for the people at home listening, that he can blow up and then keep going. So it's amazing what he can do. Another good one's Jeffrey Earnhardt. He'll party with me for sure. Jeffrey's a good dude. I like hanging out with him, and obviously people like to be around him. So we always have a good time, and we've known each other a long time. So he's another good one too.
Awesome. Love that. That's good insight. Now we're going to go back tight again. All right. We're going to put some wedge back in. I want to talk about, so we talked about some team progress, the steps and strides you guys have made over the inception of your team. I want to talk about Road America in 2017, the site of your first career win. That race, everybody tells me I have the memory of an elephant, and I really do. And I remember that race pretty specifically. So just tell me about, there's so much to unpack in that race, because I would think, just based on who you are, where you're from, your background, that I would not have expected that to be the track where you won your first race. Do you agree with that? Or were you going in there and saying, hey, I'm actually a pretty underrated road course racer?
Man, I never even road course raced until 2011.
That's what I figured.
And I remember Road America was my first road course race. I remember the week or two prior, myself and Charles Lewandowski, a good friend of mine, and he used to race, and he owns his own parts business now, Chalou. And we buy and sell a lot of parts from them. But anyway, we were supposed to practice on iRacing that night. And in 2011, at that time, I was a little bit, a wild boy. So I'd said, Charles, let's get on there. It's like Tuesday night. And I was like, let's get on there and practice together, because we both need another track. He's going to race too. And then, I had a girl call me, and I said, well, we can't do it now. I said, and actually she wants you to come over too. She's got a friend. So we got that. So we just canceled all the practice we were supposed to do. And I don't think I got much practice. So, and that was back, man, when when I would hang out, or
That's great.
I would ride in the hauler. We had to ride in the hauler to all these dang races, and we'd have to leave Wednesday. It'd take 2 days to get to Road America. And, 17-hour trip for us or so. So yeah, I'm leaving the next day or so. So it's not like I'm flying like I do now, but yeah, I mean, we were underfunded as it gets. There's 6 to 8 people in the toter home every week. And anyway, so didn't get to practice much. I remember going to Road America first time. I'm like, holy crap, I don't even know where to go. I don't even know the corners. This is very intimidating for sure. So first race was there, and then I win. What is that? 6-7 years later, holy crap! Like, that's nuts for sure. But each year, man, we would go and we just learn. Like, for instance, I'll give you an example. First year, I think I had a 12-to-1 steering box on. Well, now we're an 8-to-1. Why? We didn't know, and that just means the smaller the number, the quicker it turns. And at a road course, you want to just be able to turn, this much instead of this much. So things like that, getting better brakes, transmissions, rear end gears, all that stuff. So it's not like nobody told us, obviously. Nobody's holding JCR's hand. So each year I'm saying we got better and better. And I was like, wow, these road courses are fun. And I really enjoy them. And, that's how we got to 2017. We go to Road America. Actually, I wrecked that car 2 weeks prior at Mid-Ohio, knocked the front end off in a bottleneck over that hill that you go down on, like that turn 5, you go down like a hill, and everybody just stacked up, and I was just bam, bam, and we knocked the whole front end off, and we had to thrash and get that car ready and race Bristol between Road America. So we had our work cut out for us. And honestly, we went to Road America and I thought, hell, there's no way this thing even drives straight. We're going to suck. I mean, seriously. So we get there. We're actually fast in practice, had it like 6 on the board. I'm like, what in the hell? And the car ran good on the long run, which is what you need there, especially same that year, the tires were wearing out a lot. So fast forward to the race, started 25th because got rained out qualifying, came to the front, and I was shocked, man. I was like, I can't believe we're leading this race. I was passing Penske cars and Childers cars, and I was like, Gibbs cars. I'm like, what has happened? This is crazy. But man, we're fast as hell. I'm driving the hell out of this thing. And it was just a lot of fun. Best day of my life. And it worked out. I caught Matt Tifft at the end. He had pitted way before us, got tires, put a big lead on us. We came in, pitted, chased him back down, got to him within a handful of laps left, tried to pass him clean, wasn't working, got in under him the last corner, coming to the white, and locked up the rear tires. So got into him and spun us both out, and that's the spin and win. I kept it going, refired it, went up that big hill. Danny Gill, my crew chief at the time, said, man, you got a huge lead, just bring it home. And I was like, oh my God, we're about to win this race. And I was just starting thinking about what the hell am I even going to say? Or what am I going to do? I'll say, where do I even go? I was just thinking all this, like while I'm driving the last lap. And it was just amazing. But Matt Tiff was such a good sport about it. I was like, dude, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to wreck you, spin you out. Had no intentions of that. So I owe Matt. He's such a nice guy. My gosh. So it was good to race somebody like that. And I hate I did that, but hell, we made it exciting for the fans and everybody watching at home. That was a Sunday race on NBC. That was a big day. So that was cool as hell.
Yeah. I remember it pretty vividly. I knew it was a Sunday race. Excuse me. And you had pitted a little later after Matt, and I think you came out like in 6th or something. And I remember I was watching it with my dad, and we were like, and I was just noticing the leaderboard, and you were just kind of hopping through there with about 4 laps left. I was like, Dad, the 51 is I think this guy's going to catch the leader. And we're kind of sitting there like, no way, like there's no way it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Tiff yeah, I mean, you were substantially faster because of the way the pit cycling worked out.
Yeah.
And we're like, well, Tips, he's in a JGR Toyota. He's got a better car, but the tires made such a difference. And I remember in those last couple laps when you caught him in some of those latter turns before the spin and win, it looked like, I mean, it looked like you were wheel hopping, trying to every single time. It looked like you were wheel hopping to get in there and pass, and you kept getting so close. And at that point, I just thought it was a matter of not if, but when. And then when the spin happened, it was just on TV, all you could see was just the dirt fly in the air. So me and my dad got up and we are just like, oh my God, what's gonna happen? Who's in third? Who's in third? And you came out of it. Like you said, you had a huge lead, and we were like, son of a gun, this guy, he just did it. And the second thing, the big thing I remember about that, in Victory Lane, and you might hate me for this, or my dad, I don't know, but you got out of your car, and I don't remember exactly what you said, but you were like, I think one of the first things you said was, man, this is a car that was built like 15 years ago. And my dad just busted out laughing. My dad's gonna hate that I told you that. But I remember my dad just busting out laughing because honestly, you never see stories like that. You never see stories like that using older equipment and outrunning these guys with, like you said, passing Penske guys and RCR guys. And I mean, it was just awesome, man. I freaking loved that race. So I definitely wanted to talk about that. It was just so sick.
I got chills when you were saying about that, man. That's really cool. That means a ton to me. I mean, like I said, it's been my whole life working to get to that point to win a NASCAR race, and it was still the best day ever, and something I want to do again, just more than anything. So it's just really cool to hear you talk about, you watched it and what you and your dad were seeing, thinking, and saying. So that's cool as hell. And I mean, it's the truth. I wanted people to know this car is old as hell. I bet it's one of the oldest cars out here. So
now, I didn't know that was the car that you would, and I don't exactly remember the wreck at Mid Ohio, but I did not know that you had crashed that car 2 weeks before. I mean, that just adds on to how freaking crazy that is, dude. I mean, you just crashed that car, had no high hopes, and then you go out there and you got a freaking hot rod, and you drove the wheels off of it and got an insane win. So
I know. I still can't believe it, to be honest. The trophy's sitting right there. You can see it.
Yeah, I do. I see it.
Right up there. That's the real one. And then I've got at the shop, we got a bunch of they're about 10 inches, say 10 to 12 inches that, I got made for. I either got the guys a ring, which I have a ring over there on another shelf, but either got them a ring or a mini trophy, and I gave them $500 a piece. So try to take care of all our crew and pit crew that weekend, because that's just something that's like, holy crap, how many times this car happened? So
right, yeah, I see that. It looks like it's Johnsonville. Was it Johnsonville? Johnsonville 200 or something?
I'm disappointed in what I got with the trophy. Some of these races, I'm thinking right off the top of my head. Okay, Tyler Reddick won at Kentucky. He got a freaking jukebox, a trophy. That might have been it. Bristol one year, I think Ryan Priest won in a Gibbs car. He got a freaking side by side and a big ass trophy. God.
Oh yeah, we need everybody. We need all tracks to get on board and have their own identity for a trophy. I totally agree. Excuse me.
I got this trophy, and then in my dresser drawer, I got it. This is no lie. I got a coupon for a free pack of Johnsonville brats. I thought this is a joke. Surely this is a joke, right? I thought
that is unbelievable. How much is it for? Do you know how much? Is it at least
expired? The damn thing's expired now, but
why didn't you use it? Why didn't you use it? That's free sausage.
I didn't need a free pack of brats. I can buy them myself, but I wanted to. That's a good story, So I saved it. I'm gonna frame that freaking thing one day. But
that's true. That's true. That's a good. It's a trophy, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Bratwurst. So I just thought, well, hell, surely they'll give me like a cooler full, a year supply, a week supply. I don't know. I was like, oh, this is a joke. They're going to get with me and, they're going to give us some bratwurst and I can feed the whole team on them and stuff, but no, nothing like that ever happened.
That's I hate to say it, but and you can laugh about it. That is hilarious. But
I figured you might like.
You can't take it away from you. You got the trophy, so and the win on your record, and that was huge. It put you in the playoffs that year. So, now
thank you.
Now, one question I have: what's the best way for me to say this? You cannot say the Road America race. What is the biggest turning point of your career outside of that win at Road America? Because that's too obvious. Is there another moment that, and maybe that moment hasn't happened yet, but is there a moment that is comparable to what you had at Road America?
Oh man, that's a tough one. I won a lot of big dirt races, and those were very special to me, especially running against guys like Scott Bloomquist and Mike Duvall, guys that I watched when I was a kid. Winning against those guys still is very high up there. I won the ARCA race in 2007 at Nashville. The week after I run out of gas, coming to the line to win at Pocono, and Michael McDowell, and I think Michael McDowell won, and that really stung. Finished third. So the next week we come to Nashville and won that race. So I don't know. That sticks out too, because that was again, you're running old stuff, and we beat a lot of big teams. ARCA back then was a hell of a series. It had Ricky Stenhouse and Ganassi cars, Casey Mears, and all of these good drivers, Frank Kimmel, Tim Steele. I mean, there's so many good guys. So back then it was tough as hell,
Kimmel was the GOAT, the 7-time champion, I think, in the ARC, or maybe 8-time champion from what I remember.
To win that, and it was amazing. And so I don't know. Those are the things that stick out to me, but I've raced a lot of races in my lifetime. So it's hard to remember some of it.
Yeah, I bet, man. I bet. And that's once again great info. Last thing here before we sign off. So another big deal that a lot of people may not know about that I'm familiar with, because I constantly keep up with the business model in NASCAR, and that includes sponsors. You guys lost a huge sponsor last year with repairablevehicles.com. And I'm sure that was a huge deal regarding filling those spots back up, because they were one of the longest tenured partners in the sport with you guys. So briefly, tell me about some of the sponsors that have come on board and where you guys are looking right now regarding filling up all your spots for the rest of the season.
Yeah, it was an unfortunate end with repairablevehicles.com. They were really good to us for a long time. They were on the car when we raced. Unfortunately, I wanted to do something different, and that's okay. And appreciate, again, everything they did for us. And I had a lot of fun with them. So don't regret any of that. It was wonderful. But luckily, when that happened, we put out a press release and got a ton of interest and filled up all but one race. The race that we didn't get full was Las Vegas. And in my opinion, it was literally a week and a half after I got the notification about that. So just didn't have no time to do anything about that. But been a lot of interest to get on my race car, and that's been really cool to me. And one guy that sticks out in my mind as Steve Carnes with First Pacific Funding. He's been amazing and has done a lot of stuff for us, and I think it'll continue to get bigger and bigger. His boss Jeff has been wonderful. They brought out for our Vegas weekend this year, they brought out a bunch of their clients, their big clients. We went to dinner 2 nights in a row. We hang out. They got them die-cast cars, Woodford bottles signed with the company and my number on it, hats, shirts, brought them to the suite. I mean, it was amazing all that they done for their clients. So having First Pacific Funding on my car for Vegas and Phoenix, and then they ended up on Martinsville, has been pretty dang cool. And Steve has been a lot of fun on Twitter, working with the fans and everybody. So I really got to shout out to him. And then I think my longest sponsor or partner right now is Chuck Kuhn with All South Electric out of Atlanta, Georgia. He's been with me since 2013 or 14. Been such an amazing guy. Him and his family are great. They're only getting bigger. They're on the Throwback car that we're running next week, and it looks phenomenal. You guys haven't seen it, check it out. And they're only our partners want to get bigger with us. So it's really exciting at the moment for me to build this team to where it's where I think it's going and where I want it to go. So I'm definitely looking for some more partners. There's roughly 8 to 9 races at the moment that are unconfirmed that I don't have anything for a primary sponsor this year. So I want to get those voids filled. There's a lot of talk, obviously, but until it happens, there's nothing there yet. But we've had a lot of fun with our partners, and there was a lot of them at Talladega. My wife Courtney and I even stayed in one of their motorhomes this past weekend, and I found some more partners at Daytona in the infield with their motorhomes, and at Talladega. So all these different tracks, we've met a lot of good people and a lot of people that want to partner up with our race team. So that's been a lot of fun, man. That's really cool for them to want to do that.
That's badass, man. Yeah, big shout out to Steve Carnes. I've communicated with him a lot, as you may know, on Twitter. He's become a big prominent figure on NASCAR social media. I love the content that he puts out. And we need some guys to step up and get this 51 car filled for the rest of the season. I mean, I don't see how you can watch this and not want to sponsor this guy. I mean, this is some great stuff. So I hope you get those spots filled up. I imagine you will, because I have the utmost respect for you and a confidence that, and especially with how your performance this year, that you guys are going to get those spots filled.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that, Dale. It's been a lot of fun, and I really do feel confident about it. There's definitely some talk, so I feel that we'll get it done. It's just I wish First Pacific Funding could just do the rest of them, and that would be amazing. But hopefully Steve and his boss Jeff will get that point. That would be really cool to me. But we'll keep working, and we'll find something that can do some of the races. And it's a lot of fun working with these people. I do a lot of the work myself with our partners and trying to get all this done. So they usually seem to like working with me versus a random person, and that they don't even get to talk to the driver until it's race day or something. So I try to personalize it myself. So that's one benefit of it.
Yeah. And if you don't find any sponsorship, I always remember that Morgan Shepherd had Jesus sponsor his car for a really long time. So that could be an option for you. That's
there you go.
Jesus, take the wheel, baby. Now,
That's
real
right.
quickly, we got to wrap this up. I went way over what I thought I would go over for my first episode. But I did forget to mention the Darlington Throwback. Real quickly, tell us about that. It is badass. Tell us where we can see it on social media.
Oh, man, that was a lot of fun working with Chuck Kuhn. Him and his dad, Charlie, his dad passed away in 2016. They were really big fans of Dale Jarrett. I'm a big fan of Dale Jarrett. I remember watching him win the Daytona 500 and the number 18 Interstate Batteries car for Joe Gibbs in the 90s. I watched him ever since. So Dale's been a really nice guy to me. He gave me his blessing with running this car, which was really cool to me. Him and Dave Burns were announcing the day I won.
I wanted to say that. I do remember that.
That's another reason. There's a lot of those reasons. And then that car looked really cool to me. I always liked that car. And then, like I said, when me and Chuck Kuhn from All South Electric were talking about it, we actually kind of both threw this one out to each other. And I was like, well, sounds like we got a winner. So after we got Dale's blessing, we went for it. And yeah, it's all over our social media. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Jeremy Clements Racing. My personal one is jclements51. We got a website, jeremyclements51.com. So yeah, you can just type in my name and something should come up. But Really appreciate all the fan support. I've had a good time with you, Dale. It's been a lot of fun, man. And I'm honored to be, like I said at the beginning, your first freaking guest as a driver. So that's cool as hell, dude.
I appreciate that more than you know, because I'm not gonna lie. At the beginning of this, I said I was shaking off the jitters, a little nervous here, but I had a great time. I had more fun than I thought I would, actually. So much appreciated. Jeremy Clements, driver number 51, Xfinity Series, Chevrolet Camaro. You know where to find us, Garage Fam. Garage Guys Fantasy Sports on YouTube. Be sure to be looking out for more content later this week on YouTube. You can catch me, Dale Tanhardt, on Twitter. Garage Guy Chase on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Chef Boyardeen, Drew Dean, catch him, Twitter, Instagram as well. Once again, Jeremy, thank you so much. Much appreciated for coming on here, and we had a great time. Good luck for the rest of the season, brother.
No problem, buddy. Thank you so much for having me again. I hope to see you at a racetrack in the future, and we'll have us a cold Miller Lite.
All right, I think I might do a Miller for you, but we'll to be decided.
That's fine. You can get whatever you want.